Here, I brought you some bubble and squeak.
Number one, it's a family show, and it's full of absolutely insanity with the incorrigible Mr. Toad, and of course all of his friends who try to get him on the right track.
Ah yes, the incorrigible Mr. Toad of Toad Hall. His story, taken from Kenneth Grahame's The Wind in the Willows, forms the basis of this adaptation by Philip Golding, and what a tale it is.
There's been a most terrible undercarriage of justice, you see. For deep down, I'm not really such a bad chap, miss.
Call me Chloe.
It's just such a great show, full of so much just craziness almost. It's awesome.
It's huge. The forest is huge. The aspects of it are huge. We have a car, we have a train. Right?
It's really a pleasure to be green, but on top of that, I get to drive on stage.
I say, isn't that illegal?
Well, you may as well be hung for a sheep as a lamb.
Toad of Toad Hall combines many different elements, and it creates a category of its own. It's got animals that are actually representative of people. It's got music, but it's not a musical. And it's got a moral, but it's not a morality play.
Ah, Molly, there you are. Been far?
It's mostly about community, but there's so many other themes woven in.
I think there's a lot of universal messages about consequences and greed, arrogance, and what the consequences of that might be, and also just the whole aspect of generosity and giving and how that feels.
To get those messages across, the script uses a lot of smart, witty humor.
We're bound to miss old Toad. Because though he can be an awful twit, he does liven the place up a bit.
Actually, the vocabulary is quite sophisticated, and so is the structure of the play itself. But because of the visual components and because of the themes, I think people of all ages are going to love it.
Another thing Red Deer audiences are likely to enjoy is the reference to local places.
Spookily quiet, deserted, desperate. Was there a big sign, did you notice, saying Bower Ponds?
Add some slapstick humor and you've got a surefire crowd pleaser.
So say your prayers if you still have the breath to speak.
And then there's Mr. Toad himself. Despite his foibles, he's lovable.
There's a kind of an innocence about it, but on this other side is this curiosity and sense of adventure that Mr. Toad requires in his life that get him on the wrong path.
Seeing him learn from his adventures is right in keeping with the season.
Yes, it's a fantastic play right before Christmas.
I say, what a super thing to say, Ratty.
Patricia Smith, Shaw TV, Red Deer.
We make a perfect team, you and I, eh?